From the World Broadcast Center in Las Vegas, Nevada, this is the Las Vegas Report on Las Vegas Broadcasting Company.
Well, this is Chris, and this is
Chantal.
So what we wanted to do is have the real debate. Everybody's seeing the other guys, the comedian named Donald Trump and the magician named Hillary Clinton. We thought we'd bring you the real people. And this is Chris, he's pro-Trump, and Chantal is pro-Hillary. Let's start with an opening statement. Keep it to about 10, 15 seconds, each of you. Why are you pro-Trump?
Well, there's a lot of issues that face the country today. One of them is we've got a national debt that's around $20 trillion. When you take into it's closer to 120 when you look into the bigger picture. But let's keep it at 20 trillion. We have a porous border that is wreaking havoc on the states that are close to the border, on healthcare and also emergency services and so forth.
Ding, ding. Okay, thank you, Chris. Your time's up on opening statement. Chantal, you got about 10, 15 seconds. Go ahead. Why are you pro-Hillary?
I'm pro-Hillary. Look at the state of our economical global systems. Look at the state of our economy. Look at the state of our healthcare. I think that Hillary has the bandwidth and the experience that Trump can never, ever compete with. And that's why I'm pro-Hillary.
All right. My first question for the two candidate representative citizens is, do you think the media is dealing fairly with Trump and with Clinton, or is one biased or is the other biased? What do you think? Are they dealing fairly with these two candidates?
That's kind of a fun question. I think that both candidates have their upsides and their downsides. And honestly, yes. I think that they're putting both of their, dirty dishwater out to air and letting the public decide from it.
And do you think the media is dealing fairly?
No, it's not fairly. Clearly it isn't. If you look at the coverage that Trump got from his video thing that he had last week and you compare it to the coverage to the WikiLeaks, the stats clearly show otherwise, that it's not even close. So the negatives on Trump far outweigh Hillary, and they're not even covering a lot of the issues that are surrounding Hillary.
Okay, now I'm going to pose a negative question, seemingly about each candidate, and let both respond to it. There's a lot been made of Trump's temperament, and even if you are pro-Trump and love Trump and believe that the world's a little too PC, do you think possibly that he does not have the temperament to hold the nuclear bomb codes?
No, I don't think it's about that. He's never been in the political arena before, and he wears his thoughts on his sleeve in the open forum. But when you look at what he's done over the last 20 to 30 years, he's built an organization of thousands of people, and he's surrounded himself with very smart people who are, smarter than him in the fields that he, in the areas where he needed things to get done. So he's built a big empire, and you can only do that if you have a good temperament.
Okay, excellent. And your thoughts. Is Donald Trump, does he have the temperament to be able to hold the nuclear bomb codes?
I think that we've all seen that throughout.
Seen what?
Seen Donald Trump's temperament throughout his career and through his political career. His portrayal of people with disabilities, his portrayal of women in general, has been extremely negative. So why would we think that he would be able to hold the nuclear bomb codes, or would he just go off like a bomb and just, push the red button?
Okay, so that was my negative question, leaning negatively to Trump. Let me give one about Hillary. Now, Hillary has made a lot about whether Donald Trump is or is not a billionaire, how he has earned his money. But the Clinton Foundation, by many people's standards, has some questionable ties, in which basically the assertion is that the Clintons have used that foundation as a way to use their political power and influence with foreign countries and nations, some of which are not necessarily the best of friends with the U.S. Do you see that as a conflict of interest? And do you believe that the crooked accusations made about Hillary Clinton have enough of a foundation that voters should take a second chance? Again, I gave a negative question about Trump, a negative question now about Hillary. Both will respond.
I believe that foreign policy in general should be looked at in a more serious light than both Hillary or that Donald Trump has looked at it. I think that the entire policy, the entire...
But the question is, should a politician be able to use their power and influence to raise money and then give favors and make policies that could benefit foes and friends in foreign lands?
Well, I think that that's almost a loaded question. The quick answer would be no. The longer answer would be every single politician uses lobbyists, and I think that the system in itself is broken, and how it allows politicians to raise money and to take money from lobbyists.
But lobbyists typically are meant to represent American interests, typically. Now, and this here is about a situation. What do you think? Is Hillary and the way that she's achieved her wealth something that should cause pause to voters in the upcoming election?
Well, certainly. Who works in government and comes out hundreds of millions of dollars ahead? She hasn't produced anything. The real issue is that while she may have government experience, it's not about the experience, it's about where the rubber meets the road. She's been ineffective, and certainly for the last 30 years, the Clintons, they've been above the law in terms of, I think they feel like they're above the law. They've skirted a lot of things. Scandals followed them around for the last 26 years. It can't all be false, but using an official office of the government to solicit money for favors is not what our government's about.
Okay, well, this is going to wrap up the debate. We're going to give each candidate citizen representative a closing final statement of about 10 to 15 seconds. Chantel, you will start, and Chris will close. Your final statements, why you are pro-Hillary. Give it your best shot.
Pro-Hillary, I'd really like to see the Obamacare reform yet continue on its best basis while not being subjugated to the reformations of a bigot who decides to sexualize and manipulate the rest of the population.
Excellent. Chris, Trump.
Despite all his flaws, I think his flaws are mostly superficial. This is a man who's been in business for decades, who understands business and the economy. He knows how to build a business. He knows what businesses need, i.e. via regulations and removing those regulations. He also understands, excuse me, I didn't interrupt you. This is clearly what the left does. This is typical. He understands what the Americans are feeling in terms of what issues affect them the most. The border, our debt, tax reform, building jobs, creating an economy that can produce jobs. And he understands that, and that's why he's affected a movement across the country.
All right. So that is our citizen political debate, one representing Trump, Chris, and Chantel representing Hillary Clinton. Now to show that at the end of the day, while we're all heated right now, and we see some crazy posts on our site, on Facebook, on Twitter, we see some crazy posts. Let's prove that at the end of the day, we're all Americans. Shake your opponent's hand. Thank you guys for a great debate. You're watching Las Vegas Broadcasting Company. Oh, a safe distance from the candidates here in Las Vegas.
For the latest for, from, and about Las Vegas, stay connected with the Las Vegas Report, only on Las Vegas Broadcasting Company.